the next Halo game is going to be really expensive. Well, it's here, the death rattle of physical media. Only a few weeks after my last video, Nintendo has gone above and beyond to make the first major steps in the newly digital-only world. And as this applies to Microsoft Studios and the Halo franchise moving forward, I think we are going to be seeing a major shift in how these new distributions of content will affect what kind of product to expect from your favorite developers. Single-player experiences and online multiplayer most likely shifting to an alternatively separate project and product, different teams and overall scope. And if you're thinking to yourself, this does not sound good, you would be right. Microsoft time and time again over the last few years that their main mission is to their stockholders and investors, not the gamers and fans who got them the keys to the palace in the first place. As more publishers and developers move towards digital-only distribution, we are definitely going to witness a reduction in the number of physical copies produced or the incentive to purchase them. $80 to $90 for Mario Kart World is pretty f***ing insane no matter how cool it looks. I mean, damn, times really have changed. And breaking today, Nintendo has postponed the US pre-orders for the upcoming Switch 2 console, originally scheduled for April 9th. And the company cites the need to assess the potential impact of newly announced tariffs as the primary reason for the delay, so we're f***ed. Many of us were counting on Nintendo to lead the charge of saving physical media because, as we all know, they're really good at keeping you in their ecosystem using proprietary hardware to play their fantastic games. And Nintendo fans are the true front lines of collecting as far as I'm concerned. So to see this step away from physical media meaning anything to them was a real gut punch. If I was a kid today and I asked my mom if we could go to GameStop together and pick up a new game, and she asked me how much it was and I told her $80, she would have thrown me out of the window on the drive there. GTA 6 is about to have a payment plan through the DoorDash app, I swear to God. With the Wednesday release of Nintendo Switch 2, we now know they are going to set this trend and focus on providing download codes for games instead of the traditional physical cartridges. Even most of the upcoming carts are going to be a game code packed in without any game data included. That means you slide it in and download the entire game just like you would from the store. This would be similar to what other platforms like PlayStation and Xbox have already started doing with certain titles, especially with the push toward digital-only consoles like the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 Digital Edition. But this is truly a weird next step in the future of preservation moving forward. $500 for Pokemon games to still look like shit. They really do be begging me to go buy a Steam Deck at this point. It really does feel like developers are insisting we emulate older titles on modded systems instead of investing in their new hardware. Should we really feel bad about this in 2025? What are we investing in if we own nothing? Forgive me, I'm trying to jump on the hype train like the rest of you.
Exclusive to Nintendo Switch 2.
I love the idea of Nintendo and the energy they bring to the gaming space. They're so weird. Hilariously, after 23 years, Nintendo has finally caught up to the original Xbox by adding a chat feature to their console. And from some reports, you'll have to start paying for this feature post-March 2026. That's like paying for Discord just to call and add your friends. Things like this used to be expected of game companies, and now we're being heavily charged for them. We might also see special editions become only in-game exclusive items. Long gone are the days of Noble Team statues and miscellaneous packed-in goodies to immerse you in the world you're about to play. I hope that Todd Howard's last thought in this life will be about that damn horse cosmetic like the end of f***ing Oppenheimer with a single tear rolling down his f***ing face. With download codes taking over, platforms like Nintendo eShop and Microsoft Market could see a much larger role in the distribution of games. Nintendo might invest more in enhancing their digital storefront and offer bundles or subscription services or easier access to games without the reassurance of true ownership for the player. If physical games become less common, gamers will need reliable internet connections to download or access their games. This could be a real problem for players in regions with poor internet infrastructure and limited data plans. While digital games offer convenience, many players still prefer the tangible and nostalgia of owning physical copies. I know I do. Game Pass is a fantastic option for those lesser installments, things you're not sure you want to play, but how long is Microsoft really going to keep this option reasonably affordable for the average family when companies like Nintendo pull stuff like this and the current rises in inflation? If Nintendo is moving the line, you best believe Sony and Microsoft aren't too far behind. And I'm sure this feels like rage bait at this point, but it's a true fear in the way that we're all able to access our own experiences. I will never sell my original Halo collection, but it gives me pause to think that my entire fixation with this series might just have to stop with Infinite going forward from a physical standpoint. We're hearing rumors that Halo Combat Evolved Remake is set as a possible title to release on Switch 2, and with the prices of that ecosystem being as competitive as they are, I'm fairly positive this will be the most expensive Halo release ever. The most expensive Halo ever released released that isn't a special edition. $80, $90, if Microsoft feels petty enough, maybe even $100 for a game and story that was released over 20 years ago by a better studio. That's the reality we're facing. With the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 and the transition to digital-only distribution, the gaming market might have fundamentally changed, probably for good. While some might argue that digital convenience is the future, we can't ignore the darker side of this shift. All of this just feels like a move towards convenience at the cost of soul. We're headed towards a future where all our favorite games are locked behind an internet connection, and we have no true lasting ownership over them. However, unofficial Bloodborne 2 looks dope as f***. Digital might be the wave of the future, but it's a wave that's sweeping away what made gaming special for so many of us. In the end, this shift doesn't change the market. It changes the very essence of what it means to be a gamer, and for many, that's a loss they'll never be able to get back.